Spirit Radio. Ireland loves radio. The stats are amazing. Close to 90% of us listen every day. Radio is great company. It's the way we track news, current affairs and sports. It's also a good place for conversations about faith. Spirit Radio is Ireland's national Christian radio station. We're celebrating 7 years on air. Spirit Radio is broadcasting in the 7 largest cities and 10 of the major towns. We're the only station broadcasting on medium wave. Amoric Research carried out a survey and puts our weekly listenership at 540,000. Our mission is to help people begin or renew their relationship with God. St. Augustine once said, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in Thee." Well, listeners stumble across Spirit and find themselves drawn to the station. They can't always put it into words, but the music and chat speak to a longing within. As one listener said, "You guys get under my skin." Spirit Radio is family friendly. Parents tell us again and again that they're grateful for a station they can have on with the kids in the car. It's a music-driven station. 70% of our playlist is contemporary Christian music. Listeners often tell us how the lyrics of a song spoke to them in a very personal way. And of course, we also play a selection of positive mainstream artists, including Snow Patrol, The Script, Mumford & Sons. In the current conversation about the Eighth Amendment, the Oireachtas Committee heard from 24 voices advocating repeal and just a handful of pro-life voices. We're striving for balance. We're getting some of the voices that weren't heard onto the airwaves. Our chat show covers health, nutrition, lifestyle, relationships, career and finance. We have a regular slot with a prayer coach and a whole pile of people from a wide range of backgrounds sharing something about their personal journey of faith. While we do take a feed from News Talk, our news team are constantly tracking a wide variety of sources and bringing stories to the airwaves that are not heard on other stations. We were the first station in Ireland to speak directly with well-known Middle Eastern correspondent Robert Fisk, the first journalist to visit Douma, where the alleged chemical weapons were used. He told us that he spoke to doctors there and found no evidence of chemical weapons. These are the voices that are largely not being heard. Mental health is a big issue in Ireland. Suicide is one of the main causes of death. Around 500 take their lives every year. Spirit Radio is a non-threatening, constant companion. The station helps people stay connected when they don't have the emotional energy to relate to other people. The upbeat music and positive banter provide real comfort for people going through tough times. People today face a lot of pressures: financial pressure, work pressure, relational pressure, time pressure. Spirit Radio is a voice of hope and encouragement for people, especially in times of crisis. And every hour after the news, we share a word of scripture. Listeners tell us, "I always listen out for that little bit from the Bible." And our daily reflections are short and punchy and making an impact right across a wide spectrum of society. We're helping people begin or renew their relationship with God. Listeners tell us that they've started to pray again. Through our event guide, we act as a signpost to the local church. We frequently have pastors, priests, and Christian leaders in to share on our programs. And of course, we're supporting many charities and aid organizations. Right now, we're reaching people in 7 cities and 10 major towns across Ireland. But our license allows us to launch in another 7 towns. We want to bring life-giving Christian radio to people in homes, cars and offices in Drogheda, Navan, Mullingar, Portlaoise, Clonmel, Killarney and Letterkenny. It costs about €10,000 to set up a new site, and this is mostly a one-off cost. We have the team in place, we're producing the programming, we have satellite distribution already up and running. We're looking for your help to buy the transmission equipment to set up in 7 new areas. Let me tell you about our financial model. We have 2 revenue streams. 80% of our income comes via donation, much of it by monthly standing order. But also we generate 20% of our income through advertising. Advertising on Spirit Radio can put your products and services in front of 500,000 weekly listeners, and we can offer you really good value for your advertising spend. Over 50% of our listeners are in the important 25 to 44 age band. 66 are in full-time employment. 59% are married. Half of our listeners have dependent children. We have a good balance of male and female, and a good balance of listeners right across the socio-economic spectrum. We're especially strong in Dublin and Greater Leinster. Let me focus on 2 reasons to look at putting some of your advertising spend with Spirit Radio. Firstly, we can offer you excellent value. Our prices, you'll find, compare really favourably. But secondly, our listener loyalty is something very special. 80% of our running costs are met by our supporters. Listeners are loyal to the station, and that extends to those who advertise on the station. When you advertise with us, you are seen as part of the wider Spirit Radio community. In the US, where Christian radio is well established, they talk about the halo effect a brand gets when it's advertised on a family-friendly Christian station. There are a good number of big-name advertisers already with us. But of course, not everybody is in the market for advertising. Would you consider making a donation to bring life-giving radio to people in these 7 towns? Your donation helps change lives. Donate now at spiritradio.ie. Thank you.